So here we are. It's the, what date is it? 20th
of February.
20th of February 2023, and we are in Puerto. We've just had a little bit of walk in parts of Costa and Baleares, and now we're just going to go for a little walk down into the port, see what's going on down here. It's getting quite late in the afternoon now. It's coming up to 6 o'clock.
Still light.
Sorry?
Still light.
It's still light, but the light's going to fade very soon as the sun goes down below the horizon. If you haven't been here for a while, notice they've got these barriers. Can't remember, they've been here for a while, haven't they?
Yeah.
But you get 4 hours free, so if you come down here and park up 4 hours, otherwise you've got to stick your money in a meter and see how it goes. But 4 hours free parking. Buenas tardes. Lots of work going on by the side here. Painting the side. Using an angle grinder to take the paint off.
Big job, do all this.
Well, it is, yeah. Noisy work as well. So we used to live in Portals now, so not down here. We used to live in the village of Portals, and so this was on our doorstep, and a place we used to come to quite often. In fact, when we first moved to the island, this port didn't exist. It was just down to the sea here, and so we actually were here when the port was being built. And one of the places which has been here all along is Welly's. Our friend Jeff Kenyon started this many years ago. Sadly Jeff's no longer with us, so we walk along where the big boats are. Flanagan's just there is another place which has been in here pretty much since the start.
Isn't it pretty?
But here you'll find lots of very big, very expensive motor yachts and sailing yachts. Mostly the motor yachts. We're actually walking into the sun, so I'm not sure how that's going to affect the video, but see lots of lovely palm trees here giving us a little bit of shade. So this is Flanagan's. We've actually been here and walked past here and seen El Rey, the King Juan Carlos, who's actually now the former king, and we've seen him having dinner here. I'm not sure if the present king was with him. He's a bit of a... used to go out quite a lot in this area.
25th anniversary of Flanagan's.
Oh yeah, so there we've got the ring, and 25th anniversary.
So that's how long the port.
So from 2011. So is that right? That doesn't work out right. Not sure what that means then. There is a date on there which says 2011. Yeah, the port must be more than 25 years old, that's for sure. And some things come, some things go, but Flanagan's there, and Welly's probably the two of the ones which has been. It's the Pirate over there. I think that's been there for quite a long time. That's a fashion outlet. And the restaurant here, well, that's changed its name, so it's
Tristan's it used to be.
Used to be Tristan's, yeah. But we would come just to have a look to see the lovely boats that are here. I'd say most of them are motor yachts, but there are some sailing boats here as well. There's one. What I must do is go into Palma, because the Ineos team has set up their camp to test out their boat, which capsized the other day. And they're racing for the America's Cup, or training for the America's Cup. So Ben Ainsley's here. Just go over because there is a beach here.
You were on there the other day.
Not this one. In fact, I'm not sure I've ever walked on that beach. I mean, I've seen it from the distance, but I'm not sure I've ever actually been on. This is the
sea there.
Club de Mar. Oh yes, there's someone swimming in the sea. Perfect thing to do to finish the day. Just beyond this though, in the distance, there's Marineland, and then the Costa de Blanes beach, which I was on the other day. And it was such a beautiful day. I wish I'd brought my book and I could have sat down and read my book. Just looking around, there's a few boats here that get moored just on the outside, and they use the shelter of the port to protect them. But the sea's looking lovely. It's nice and calm. It's not too windy, and the sun, as you can see, it's got about 20 minutes, half an hour before it's going to set. Anita doesn't fancy a swim apparently. So whenever we'd have visitors coming to stay with us when we lived in Portals, this is one of the places we used to come down to, and we would show them our boats. Not our boats, but...
Which one's ours?
Dream on, dear, dream on. There's plenty of dreaming to do down here. In a past life being about just over 10 years ago, I used to work for a yacht engineering company called Yachts, and on one occasion I was sent down to this port to do some work on one of these boats, and it was really quite lovely, up on the deck.
Tissue boxes.
That one wasn't tissue boxes, that's another story. I can't actually remember what I was doing on, but I was somewhere on the top deck, probably counting screws. I think I was having to do an estimate on how much a job was going to cost, and part of it was about counting how many screws there were that needed to be undone, replaced, and redone, or whatever. So lots of boats here. Some of them got British registrations. I see one there, it's London. Usually there's lots of cars parked along here, but because it's the winter season, it's off season, virtually none of the owners will be here. The owners of these yachts will be in sunnier climes, or wherever, I don't know. And they may have a crew, or they may just pay a yachting agency to come in and look after the boats for them.
Yeah.
Hola.
Having said, I don't see any cars. There's a nice Bentley up there. That's the sort of car I suppose you need to have if you've got a yacht down here. And I said we used to bring our visitors down here, and the one that sometimes, always, because it was usually moored in Palma, that we saw was called the Fortuna. And the Fortuna was Juan Carlos's boat. So we used to see that moored at the end here. The one at the end actually is called Quo Vadis. I think that's been here for a number of years, and that too's got a British flag on it. And all of these boats need a petrol station, so actually gone upmarket a bit now. It looks a bit swish, this petrol station or fuel station.
wave on the roof.
That's all been, yeah, it's very nice. All been modernised. Come the summer months, you'll find on the far wall there, we'll get some really big yachts that come in and they'll moor across there. It's a little less accessible, and there's actually a helipad at the end, so people can come and go by helicopter. There are many of the boats that are that big have got their own helipads at the back. And the orange vessel that we can see is a lifeboat, so that's just there. And a nice walk on a night like this, on an evening like this, is actually along that sea wall.
Should we do it?
It's accessible from the far end down there. It's a long walk all the way, and then you get to the lighthouse there, which is the entrance.
And then I've got to walk back.
But you've got to walk all the way back, so you do that little walk and then you have to walk all the way back. It is a long walk, and that will take you down to the far end of the marina, which is where it joins on to the beach. I just hear a boat coming in. This is just a little dinghy, I think. Yeah, a rubber dinghy. It is actually very warm. You must be feeling warm. The temperature of the air is really mild. I think it's probably around about 20 degrees now. Unfortunately, towards the end of the week, the temperature is going to drop down to about 12 degrees. It's going to start to feel really cold, and we've got rain and wind and all the nasty bits. So we've got a couple of good days, today and tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, and then by Thursday it'll start to turn again. But anyway, we know that summer's on its way. So with our yacht in the background, we're going to finish this this video.
Didn't tell me that.
Didn't tell you that, didn't I tell you? I bought you that? Oh well. So anyway, we can dream on, and thanks very much for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you in our next video. So bye for now.
Bye.
Bye bye. Right, just before we leave Puerto, just noticed that the big tent over wellies. So I remember we had a function up there. It's quite a nice big room. It looks as though something big is happening up there, so we'll have to wait and see what it turns out to be.